So if there's one company that's done well this year during this whole situation of 2020, I can't say the word because YouTube will demonetize me, it's been Peloton. Peloton has done substantially well, and in fact, I'm pretty devastated I didn't think about it. I didn't believe in this company, and I have really regretted it because it was a no-brainer. But the big question, is Peloton a good investment right now at the close of the year 2020? Or is it a good investment early 2021? Big questions we need to ask. And the only way to do that is to grab a Peloton bike, let 50 naked men do a full workout on it for an hour, take off the seat, put it very close to your eye, give it good. Ooh, that's got an STI. So as always, before we get into Peloton, is it a good stock to buy? Please do me the kind favor of smashing that like button until it turns blue. It is Christmas after all, do me that kind favor. If you're new here, please do subscribe, and if you have subscribed and not turned on the bell, well, it is the season of Christmas and bells are a theme, so make sure that ding ding is turned on. If you want to support the channel, check out the Patreon links in the description. You can buy me a beer, a coffee, a whiskey, whatever you want to call it. Check out some of the perks there. There's a chat room too. And if you are not from Canada or the US, you can join it via eTORO on the pinned comment, and you can get free lifetime access to my chat room if you simply open up an account, deposit, and make one simple trade. So if you're wondering why I'm in a Christmas jumper, well, quite simply, this is filmed during the Christmas holiday period, and every single video I'm going to be wearing a new Christmas jumper up until the end of the year. Today's jumper is quite simply Rudolph getting involved in a good old-fashioned three-way. Yeah, my wife doesn't like this jumper, so I've got to get the most out of it. Now, Peloton, if you don't know who they are, quite simply, we've all probably heard of spinning, which is basically a bike that doesn't really move. You sit on it in a gym and you go really fast, and then some dude or girl shouts at you because you're not going fast or hard enough and you're completely exhausted. Well, Peloton, what they did is they said, well, why don't we just basically glue on an iPad or blue tack an iPad on the front of it, and then you can stream a Zoom call. I'm completely elaborating here and making it more simple, with a trainer somewhere else in the world, and they can give you a lesson in your own home. Now, the idea is completely brilliant in my opinion. I actually like spinning, and if it was in my house, I'd probably use it 2 or 3 times a year. But that said, Peloton is a damn expensive object. Some of the bikes go for $3,000 or $4,000. So it is a very expensive hobby, considering you could just go to the gym and, you know, pay a couple of dollars to get in a spinning class. It is very exciting. But when the gyms closed this year, Peloton really took off, and I was looking at it and I didn't take it. Another stock I missed, and it did very well. But that said, I don't really believe in their business model still. My big question, which I'll come on to in a minute, is how long can Peloton keep this up? But before we get to that, let's look a bit more into the fundamentals. Peloton's market cap at its current price is around about $35 billion US. And if we look at simply Wall Street's valuation, they say that they are 52% overvalued. But bearing in mind, this is just simply Wall Street's algorithm talking here, and you should seek some financial advice and do your own due diligence, because I'm just a good-looking guy in a Christmas jumper talking shit on the internet. Their PE ratio is the 3rd biggest I've seen this year, a crazy 727. That's a mega PE ratio. I only seen Tesla higher than that in NIO this year, so bearing in mind that their price to earnings ratio is way overvalued. To give you a clue, the PE ratio, the closer to 1 typically, the better value a company is. This is 727 times. If you look at their PEG ratio, the price to earnings growth ratio, it's 14.8, which is basically their PE ratio, including the previous growth of the company. And the growth has been substantial during the last year. You take them and mash them together, it's still way expensive if you just go on the PEG and PE ratio. Their assets and liabilities are a bit strange to me as well, to be honest. Their short-term assets are currently $2.58 billion US to $1.1 billion in liabilities, which is a big tick in the box. But if we go into their long-term, which is the worrying factor for me, there's $894 million in assets and a $582 million in liabilities. So if we put them all together, there's not that much assets there for a company that's worth 35 billion. So that's a bit worrying to me. I mean, if you add them all up, it's less than 5 billion, and the company's valued at 35 market cap. Now, I know that doesn't really make sense, but you'd expect it to be nearer 10, 12, 15 billion to have a market cap that size, in my opinion. Now, there hasn't really been any insider buying during this year either, which is a bit of a worry for me, and that was one of the biggest reasons why I didn't take it. If a CEO or a CFO or someone inside believes in the company, they should be buying it every single year, especially on discount years. Now, there has been some selling about 6-9 months ago from a few companies, but that was actually during this whole Miley Cyrus virus. And what happened there was, yeah, some people just cashed in, I guess. If we look at the chart itself, beginning of the year or during this whole situation, they were currently riding around $26. And then they went up to 130, which was their highs actually not too long ago. And currently they're riding at $121 a share. So the company's near all-time highs and could break through them soon. 100% that could happen. Another bullish sign is that ARK Invest, Cathie Wood, actually hold quite a decent sized position and they're still buying more and more of Peloton. That isn't enough for me in itself, but that's a big sign that one of the most popular innovative investors in the world is actually buying ARK still. Crazy. Some negative news is that they're actually struggling. Their company has admitted that they're struggling to keep up with demand, which is good. There is a lot of demand for these bikes, but they're struggling to keep up with orders and deliveries. And they think that now, if you, I read somewhere, if you buy now, you won't actually get it until the middle of next year. Middle of January next year, should I say. Jesus, that would be long. But that's a bit of a backlog. People today want stuff tomorrow. Now, there is a few competitors for Peloton, but they're definitely by far the number one in their game. But these delays are going to frustrate customers. Customers will want refunds, and it gives that opportunity for another company to come in and take some of that customer away. That said, I don't think that's happening, but not keeping up with demand is a big shake of the head, to be honest. That's all it is, a big shake of the head. You should be hiring a lot of people and making sure you can keep up with orders. After all, there's a lot of unemployed people right now, and there isn't really an excuse. Now, another good thing that I like about them is they have a subscription-based model. So you can subscribe to the platform, all the users subscribe, and then you get access, a bit like Netflix, to different instructors to do your workouts, which is a great thing, to be honest. Now, for me, I think subscription models are the way forward for any legit company. We've seen loads of companies have this subscription. GoPro have it, and they've actually increased their revenue. And I think that actually saved GoPro. You can go check out my GoPro video if you want to learn more on that. But I think subscription-based models is a good way to at least pay your bills for most companies. I think Peloton have done a charm there by having this subscription-based model. But that said, my biggest risk in this company is quite simply, how long can they keep it up? These bikes look brilliant. They look amazing. Spending $3,000 or $4,000 on a bike, that's great. How long does it last? That's my big question. And if it only lasts 2 or 3 years, there's a high probability you're not going to go and buy another one. You want this thing to last for years. And if it lasts for years, there's no repeat business. Like with an iPhone, typically they only last a couple of years. They update the software and you need to physically upgrade the phone. With this, it's a bike. It's mechanical, majority of it. So I don't know how you're going to get that repeat custom, okay? And that's the problem. And I think there's only a certain amount of people in the market who are going to want this. Not as many as who want an iPhone in that comparison. But you see what my point is that if it is a very good product, you're not going to get that many resales because people have got it already. And even if it was shabby and broke after 2 years where you would upgrade it, people are not going to spend $4,000 on a bike again. So that sort of scares me a little bit. I've never had a Peloton, so I don't want to comment too much on the product. I've seen some reviews, they do look fantastic. Maybe I should get one. Maybe I should get one and maybe do my own home workout videos. If you want to see me in a home workout video, drop them in the comments. Make sure that like button's turned blue, and if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe and turn the bell. Hope you have a great holidays. I will be back one more time before the end of the holidays, possibly with a live stream on Christmas Eve. If you'd like to see me do a live stream on Christmas Eve and join me for a beer or a whiskey, please do drop that in the comments as well, with what time zone would be preferable for you and what time. I'd be working off Eastern time, so drop that time in the comments, and I'll try and figure something out there if you're interested in a live stream. That's it from me. Take care. Peace.